Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. My name is T.S. Sudhir, and you're watching your own digital classroom, Study with Sudhir. We are with the Naatu Naatu series for the board examinations of 2024. And before I start, I also want to let you know that apart from this Naatu Naatu series, in which we will be doing a whole lot of test papers for you, solving it right here in front of you, also giving explanations, what you also have, and which I will strongly recommend are the quality test papers for board examinations of 2024. One for ISC class 11 and 12. What I have done is to prepare 20 test papers on the grammar portion of the English language paper, because that's what I was told many students have problems with. Now, you can either take only the 20 test papers, right? Or you could be part of the crash course, what we are calling the percentage booster crash course for English grammar, that will have live classes which started mid-December from the 17th of December every Sunday, and will also have doubt solving, and many more tests will be done live in those classes. So the choice is yours. This crash course will also contain the 20 test papers. So you can either take only the test papers if you're confident of doing it all by yourself without any doubt solving, without any live classes, or if you think you need help, you can be part of the crash course. The choice is yours. Okay, this is for ISC class 11 and 12. For ICSE class 10, we have quality success test papers on history and civics, on geography, on English literature, on English language, which both class 9 and 10 students can use, and for chemistry and biology. What is special about this is that it's not been prepared by one person. We have subject experts looking at their specific individual subjects and preparing the test papers. That's how we do it. It's not like, one person sitting and doing everything. It doesn't work that way as far as SWS is concerned. We believe in subject expertise. So you can have a look at either of these subject papers for the board examinations of 2024. In today's video, we are now going to start with the Naatu Naatu series episode for Civics ICSE class 10 with some very interesting questions, some of them tricky, and I do hope to test you well, and you can get, as I said, many more such questions and test papers on our success test paper for history and civics. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the civics critical reasoning questions for ICSE class 10, the board examinations of 2024. The first question: the President of India is considered part of Parliament. The options are: because only a person who can be elected member of the Lok Sabha can become the president. You remember that's one of the conditions which is for the election of the President of India. Please remember, इस बारी आपके सिर्फ PYQs करने से फायदा नहीं होगा. You need to test yourself with questions that challenge you. सिर्फ textbook पढ़ने से फायदा नहीं होगा. You need to understand. That's what is going to be different, especially about history civics paper this time. The second option is because all laws made in the houses come into effect only when they receive the assent of the president. यानी कि president sign करने पर ही कोई भी बिल एक्ट जब पास होता है पार्लियामेंट से, वो लॉ कानून तभी बनता है जब राष्ट्रपति उस पर हस्ताक्षर करते हैं. Because president's nominee, that is the vice president, is the Rajya Sabha chairperson. Or the fourth option, because the president addresses both houses of parliament. Which is the option? Please see, it is a tricky question because all the four options except three, because the vice president is not technically speaking the nominee of the president. Okay, so that's slightly not the right one. But the other three options, any of them could be true. The correct option out here is option number B, because all laws made in the House, Parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, come into effect only when they receive the nod of the president, the signature of the president. Option number B. In question number 2, you need to identify which is the correct option. Rajya Sabha chairman is elected only by the MPs of the House. Only senior citizens can be members of the Rajya Sabha, as it is called the House of the Elders. It is called the House of the Elders. So is this condition true? Only Rajya Sabha has nominated MPs, or Rajya Sabha is more powerful than Lok Sabha. Now, always remember one thing. Please go by the process of elimination. Even if you think option A is correct, please don't jump to that. Please go through option B, C, and D, eliminate B, C, and D, and then only tick mark the correct option in case that is option A. In this case, option A is not right because he's elected by MPs of the Lok Sabha also. So because of this word out here only, this option becomes wrong. Only senior citizens? No, the age for election is 30, which is definitely not a senior citizen age, but they're called the House of Elders. So this option is also wrong. Rajya Sabha is not more powerful than Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha, because of its higher numerical strength, because of the fact that the MPs are elected directly by the people, is deemed to be more powerful than Rajya Sabha. However, Rajya Sabha is the permanent house. So please remember all these different conditions that are there, different aspects, different attributes of both houses of parliament. So the correct option here is C. Only Rajya Sabha has nominated MPs. How many? 12 nominated MPs. Lok Sabha now no longer has those two Anglo-Indian nominated MPs. Till 2020, it was there, after which the law was passed. So if your textbook says two Anglo-Indian MPs, sorry to say that's not correct in today's day and age in 2024. Okay. I am not allowed to vote in the election to the President of India, but I can vote for his impeachment. Who am I? So you can get these kind of questions as is, you are being asked to identify. Is it the Speaker of the Lok Sabha? No, a Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Uh, do these conditions apply to him or her? Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, the nominated Rajya Sabha MP, or the Vice President of India? The correct option is C, nominated Rajya Sabha MP. The full form of PIL. Now, this should be an easy one. The full form of PIL is public interest law, public interest litigation, public interest legality, public interest lordship. In fact, I struggle to find the fourth L1. Okay. These are all questions created by me. I don't look at any papers. If I am looking at any source, I will tell you. If I'm looking at sometimes if there is a pre-board question paper of any of my students which I find interesting, intelligent, tricky, I include that. But all these questions are made by me. Okay, so the correct option is B. Identify the incorrect sentence. Please identify which of these four sentences is incorrect. Our constitution accords equal representation to all states in Rajya Sabha. Our constitution does not accord equal representation to all states in Rajya Sabha. Does it? No, it does not. Our constitution accords representation on the basis of population. So C is the reason for B. So because it's on the basis of population, it is not equal representation. Bihar has lesser Rajya Sabha MPs than Uttar Pradesh. This is also a correct sentence. So the incorrect sentence is A. Our constitution accords equal representation. That's not true. I am empowered to amend the constitution. Who am I? Identify me. Is it the Election Commission of India? Is it the Union Cabinet? Is it the Chief Justice of India or the Supreme Court? Or is it the Parliament of India? The correct option is D, Parliament of India. I hope you're understanding this. It is adding to your knowledge. It is also compelling you to think in a manner which is logical, which is testing your understanding. Okay. Read the two factoids, and choose the correct option. Indian Constitution provides for single citizenship of India, right? The President of India is the first citizen of India. Now, which of the four options is correct? Both statements are true. Both statements are false. Or statement A is true, but statement B is false, or the other way around. The correct option is A, because both statements are true. Okay. Now you need to identify which is the incorrect statement. Center makes laws on subjects in union list. ये तो correct है. States make laws on subjects in state list. ये तो correct है. Both center and state can make laws on subjects which are there in the concurrent list. ये भी correct है. Concurrent का SC capital होना चाहिए. The fourth option, parliament and assemblies have residuary powers to make laws not mentioned in all three lists. Now, isme the googly which has been there is that assemblies don't have the residuary powers. It is the parliament which has the residuary powers. Residuary powers, you know, which are subjects, on subjects which are not mentioned in all the three lists. That is the concurrent list, the state list, or the union list. I've explained all this in the Parliament chapter video. Please go through that video. It's a very comprehensive video. If you do not have understanding of the Parliament chapter, the President chapter, I've explained all the chapter videos are there. Please go through those videos. You will find it easy to understand because it is done in a very comprehensive manner. Okay. What is not a feature of the Constitution of India? It's a single constitution. It's unified. It's flexible. Or it is rigid. The correct option jo incorrect hai, which is rigid. Now, this one is a little tricky. Read it carefully. Under the Constitution, the Lakshadweep Islands, which are there in the Arabian Sea, and the Andaman Islands, which are there in the Bay of Bengal, they're directly governed by the central government or the union government because through an administrator, largely, or a lieutenant governor. Option number A, because they are away from the Indian mainland, they are in the sea, they are union territories, they are home to native tribes, or they are sparsely populated. Another option could have been because they are important from the security point of view, right? Because they are away from the Indian mainland. The correct option, and that's because of this phrase, under the Constitution. I spent a lot of time after I wrote this question. Because under the Constitution, the correct option will be B. But having said that, from the security point of view, they are important. That's another reason why they are directly governed by the central government, because you need to position armies, etc., Air Force, Navy, etc., also there. But under the Constitution, if you look at your textbook, union territories are all governed by the central government. So which is why I'm going in for option B. Okay, I've explained to you for you to understand, mainly because of this phrase. Choose the option that conveys the relationship between statement 1 and statement 2. The first statement is cabinet has to give decision to impose emergency in writing to the president. Option B, president can declare emergency under Article 352. So let's go through the four options which explains the relationship between statement 1 and statement 2. President can, statement 1 happens first, followed by statement 2 happens first, followed by statement 1. Statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true. Statement 1 happens first, followed by statement 2. The correct option is option D, because first you need to give it in writing. After the emergency, the Constitution was amended to include the fact that unless and until the cabinet gives it in writing, because the emergency of 1975, the letter was sent to Rashtrapati Bhavan first, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed signed it, and then only the cabinet actually cleared it, right? Which was not to be the way it should be done. So now after that, the amendment was introduced in the Constitution after that, wherein it said that the cabinet has to give it in writing, and only then the Prime President of India can declare an emergency. Okay. 12th sentence, 12th question. What do these two sentences convey? When the Prime Minister speaks, the whole nation is supposed to be speaking through him. Prime Minister decides on relations with other countries. Okay. 12th. It shows that the Prime Minister is the leader of the cabinet. You remember that whole thing of the relationship between the Prime Minister and the cabinet, the nation, with the president, with parliament, everyone. The leader of the Lok Sabha, the leader of the nation, or it shows collective responsibility. The correct option is 12th B. It shows that Prime Minister is the leader of the nation. The Prime Minister is not the ex officio chairperson of the BCCI, the Cabinet, the Atomic Energy Commission, or the Niti Aayog. The correct option is cricket से तो Prime Minister का कोई नाता directly नहीं है. Who among the following does not keep a check on the authority of the Prime Minister? The Speaker of the Lok Sabha, the press, the opposition parties, or supporting parties in case of a coalition government. Okay, the correct option is, since it says does not, the correct option is A, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. I am the Finance Minister of India. I place the Union Budget on the 1st of February before Parliament on behalf of who? किसके बिहाफ पर मैं एनुअल बजट को पेश करता हूं या करती हूं, since it is Nirmala Sitharaman. Now, the Finance Ministry, the President of India, the Cabinet, or the Prime Minister. The correct option is B, the President of India. As Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh was not. Now, some of you may say, अरे ये तो out of syllabus है, but जानना जरूरी है, जान लो, कोई नुकसान नहीं होगा. As Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh was not the leader of the Lok Sabha because this statement is not true. ये सही नहीं है. He was the leader of the Lok Sabha, or he was a first-time Lok Sabha MP. He was a member of the Rajya Sabha, or because Pranab Mukherjee, till the time that he became the President of India, was senior to Dr. Manmohan Singh as a parliamentarian. The correct option is that Dr. Manmohan Singh was a member of the Rajya Sabha. Therefore, he was the leader of the house in the Rajya Sabha until such time that Pranab Mukherjee was became the president of India in 2012. He was the leader of the house in the Lok Sabha because he was a Lok Sabha MP. The Supreme Court gave the death sentence to Billa, someone called Billa, for a crime of murder. What would be his last recourse? I mean, he has been given that he will be hanged until death. What is the last option that Billa has? He can appeal to the Supreme Court once again to reconsider their decision. He can appeal to the Union Cabinet. He can appeal to Parliament, or he can appeal to the President of India. The correct option is D. He can appeal before the President of India. This is called a mercy petition. However, I must also tell you that the mercy petitions are not decided alone by the President of India. He goes by the recommendation or the opinion and the advice of the cabinet, like every other issue. In financial matters, I have an advisory role. Who am I? I have only an advisory role. Am I the Lok Sabha? Am I the Rajya Sabha? Am I the President of India? Or I am the Prime Minister of India? The correct option is 18th B, Rajya Sabha. I have an advisory role. 19th question. Read the two sentences and choose the correct option. The President can promulgate an ordinance. If the Parliament does not approve the ordinance, it lapses. Now, what does it show? What do these two sentences essentially show? That the President, we know that he can promulgate an ordinance when either of the two houses is not in session, or if Parliament does not approve the ordinance, it lapses. It shows President has the final word? No, because Parliament is the one which decides. It shows Parliament has the final word, right? It shows ordinance is a permanent law. No, it's not. It lapses, so it cannot be a permanent law. It can become permanent once the Parliament passes it, or there is no time bar on Parliament to approve or disapprove the ordinance. No, there is a time bar within which Parliament has to approve or disapprove it. So the correct option is that Parliament has the final word. The last question. President's rule was imposed in a particular state. Let's call it state X. What happens to the state's budget? Because unless the budget is passed, how will the state administration have the money to or the funds to run the administration? Well, कोई budget pass नहीं होगा. President's rule होगा तो कोई budget pass नहीं होगा. या president will give funds from the contingency fund, or parliament will pass the state budget, or the emergency assembly meeting of the assembly session of the assembly is called in order to only pass the budget. The correct option is 20C, where parliament passes the state budget. Okay, so I hope this has been of use to you. कुछ नया सीखने को मिला. अगर सब कुछ मालूम था तो रिवाइज करने के काम आया. So please stay connected to the Naatu Naatu series of 2024. There's a lot more coming up for every class. So don't get impatient. Subscribe to the channel, press on the bell icon so that you can get the notification as soon as a fresh video is posted. Okay. Thank you very much. God bless you. Tata. Bye bye. Namaskar.